All right, good Shabbos, Max.
Morning. You guys spoke to Max.
Oh, unbelievable.
Was it like a pogrom? Was like a pogrom, no?
Yeah, he's so the whole week has been, listen, every day there is something for him is just unbelievable. Ah, what a different person. Forget what he knows.
No, but his
Let everybody be.
his experience is a very special experience.
Kidding. Oh, okay. Yeah, last night is very upsetting. Very, very upsetting. If they didn't have Israel, who would pick up those people? What would happen to all those people that were in the Netherlands? Nothing.
So we're learning this week Parashat Lech Lecha. Lech Lecha is counted by many Rishonim as the first challenge of Abraham. Chaim Mivolozhin, who is the author of Nefesh HaChaim, says in his commentary on Pirkei Avot, I mean, the analogy is mine. I mean, no one says in America that if you're Italian, you have to visit Italy every year or every 5 years. If you are Irish, you don't have to. Think for a second, most Jews feel an inner call to visit Israel, to connect. He says that all the Nisyonot of Abraham became part of the DNA of the Jewish people. This is why Abraham is labeled Abraham Avinu. So he says if Abraham Avinu has the challenge, Lech Lecha me'artzecha el haaretz asher areka, every Jew deep inside feels that this is my, whatever. We're not talking about our generation, obviously, but yes, if you go 200 years ago, when Baal Shem Tov came to Israel, not to have an apartment in Tel Aviv or in Herzliya, but to go to Tveria and to live like, or to go to the old city, Baal Shem Tov, Talmidei Agra, this is from the call of Lech Lecha me'artzecha.
Can you just go over again? What was the whole thing now? I mean, obviously Terach left. He was on his way to Eretz Canaan. He never got there, right? And now he's
Haran. It says in the text. Look a second on page 50, last week's parasha. Vayi Terach 70 shana. Yes. Then you have the lineage. Then look at Pasuk Chavtet. See two psukim from the bottom, page 50. Vayikach Avram v'nachor la'em nashim, yes. Shem ha'achad Sarai v'shem ha'eshet Nachor Milka. So Avraham is married, Nachor is married, and the pasuk emphasizes that Sarah is barren. Now,
because somebody said because she knew my makom. So he was trying to help Abraham for whatever.
I mean, this is the Gemara.
Yeah. Okay.
But this is not in this Aricha. This is the Aricha. Look at page 52 a second. Vayikach Terach et Avraham beno ואת לוט בן הרן בן בנו ואת שרי כלתו אשת אברהם בנו ויצאו איתם מהור כסדים ללכת ארצה כנען. Question is, why did Terach was in general Oved Avodah Zarah, why is he making a move, right, to go to Eretz Canaan? But they stopped by Yavo at Haran v'yeshvu sham.
But that's what I thought we do. I think what Philip says he recognized the greatness of Abraham at this point and did Shinu Makom in order to
Right, so Eli said, the Or Chaim says that he figured that the Shinu Makom might help them. Others are saying that at this point, Terach realizes my son Abraham doesn't fit in the community here, yes? And people, Nimrod, the government is
Right.
after him. So what he's trying to send to go, but he got stuck in Haran.
Do you know why he got stuck? Why he never got to? Doesn't tell us.
The previous parasha concluded that Terach was 205 and he died.
In Haran.
Even though Terach died many, many years after Abraham and Sarah and Lot
Right,
already
because that was
there.
his test to leave his
So
father.
Rashi says that the Torah does not want us to focus anymore. We're starting now something totally new. But you see clearly that Terach on his own is trying to. And we mentioned last night the Torah, the history that we know about Abraham really begins here. Even though Abraham had many, many challenges before he got to this point, yes.
Right.
But at this point, Abraham is ready to emerge as the builder of the Jewish people, yes. Which means Abraham Avinu, the Rambam says, Abraham started to ask questions at the age of 3.
Did he go to
Right.
Yeshiva Sheva Emet? Did he
No,
get involved with that?
Abraham never went, but Abraham sent Yitzchak after the Akedah. The Yeshiva of Shem Ve'ever in a modern language is like the Yeshiva of Mekubalim. If you live 500 years and you reach God almost there, then you have to complete go there. But this is the ABC of becoming a person. So the Ravad says on the Rambam, how can you say Ben Shalosh? It says in the Ravad, it says in the Gemara, it was 40. The answer is, Abraham Avinu was not born Abraham. No one is born Abraham. The Ben Ish Chai was born a regular person and he became the Ben Ish Chai. The Torah is showing us it took him 37 years to reach from the age of 3 to 40 to become Abraham. Then, for 35 years, he is doing what he's doing. Now, it's time to move to another location. So look a second. ויקח אברהם, look at פסוק ה', ויקח אברהם את שרה אשתו, ואת לוט בן אחיו. See, in the text, if you read carefully, okay, is Lot coming because he wants to follow his uncle? Or Lot is coming because his mentor, his stepfather and his stepmother, which means his uncle and his aunt, are going. You see, ויקח אברהם את שרה אשתו, ואת לוט בן אחיו, ואת כל רכושם אשר רכשו, ואת הנפש אשר עשו בחרן. Abraham didn't have too much money. So Rashi tells us, look at the Rashi. Rashi says, אשר עשו בחרן שהכניסום תחת כנפי השכינה. The language the Rambam is using is tens of thousands followed Abraham, and Sarah did the same with the females. So why is the pasuk saying that הנפש אשר עשו בחרן? If you convince someone to become a better person or to believe in God at that time, conversion at that time meant to believe that there is Hashem Echad and there's no idols. Yes. מעלה עליו הכתוב כאילו עשהו. Okay.
So it's interesting. It's interesting that the Targum uses the word. He uses the word, but the translator says "V'yat nafshata deshavidu laoraisa."
Exactly. You hear the Targum says, הנפש אשר עשו בחרן, says the Targum, נפשות דשעבידו דאורייתא. Shiabud is a lien.
towards God.
those who they convinced. Now, later, as Lot becomes a person on his own, it makes money. He's basically departing from Abraham. So many commentators say the fact that he is able to leave Abraham shows that he never really internalized the messages from Abraham.
Also, the word is Vayikach Abraham
Right,
took
right.
Lot. He
Right,
didn't.
right.
He
Coming-
didn't go
Yeah,
on.
but the Targum is very, but the Targum is consistent. Because the Targum uses for the word Vayikach u'devar, and when Targum uses devar, it's a lesson of Mashiach, or to take, not to physically take, but to lead. He led him. There's a very specific.
Hear what he says. He said that the Targum says Udevar Abraham. Devar is leading. But the fact that Lot later, you see clearly that Lot
Didn't go on his own.
acquired a lot of qualities from the house of Abraham when he's willing to do whatever it takes to save the Malachim
Kindness for people.
later.
He did some kindness for people in his home.
A lot of kindness. But the point when it comes to money or me, it's money.
Okay, so he divides it. He makes his own law he makes his own.
And he's willing to go
Like
to Las Vegas, which is 42 seconds in Manhattan. Chazal are telling us he went to Stone because of adultery, yes? And this is why
Also,
Hashem later made sure, in the big
So
picture,
Arayot was a big item for Lot. It
Yeah.
seems like it
Yeah.
plays on that.
and because David HaMelech is a descendant, this is why the killer seal of David were women, because his roots,
Wow, that's
his
interesting.
roots are Lot, yes? That this was his child.
What? Say,
That's
can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
amazing.
I didn't-
No, you see clearly that Lot
I didn't catch
as a
Weakness.
his weaknesses were women. Look a second.
that. You're saying his descendant. Who is it?
David
David
HaMelech.
HaMelech.
Melech, through Naomi, through Ruth.
Put it all together from Lot to
That
David
means-
was a
that
weakness.
means-
No, no, I
hundreds
didn't
of-
catch what-
hundreds
I
of
know,
years.
Rabbi, but you're giving it to us.
Hundreds of years.
That's how why David had a weakness through an.
No, this was his challenge. Everyone has
I'm sorry.
everyone
I
has
didn't
a
mean to say.
challenge. Everyone has a challenge.
At least one.
You see, we never pay attention because when we learn Tanakh, after David failed the test with Bathsheba, okay? If you learn the text carefully, he never touched any of his wives. And David had 18 in total. And he made sure that they are dressed every day to kill, like some ladies in the weddings, yeah? But he never touched them.
But he also had another test. He
Because
wanted
David-
to take
because
Abigail.
David
When
was-
he never touched him, he wasn't
He
with his
didn't want to
children.
be that
Rabbi, so
yourself
it's
on him.
But I thought he wanted to take her, and they said, no, wait till her husband passes away, or.
He did, he did.
The Pasuk says that when Abigail says to him, please remember me. What she meant was she understood that the husband is going to die, he died within 10 days.
Right,
after
but
the
actually, she made him wait
I'm
till he
sorry,
passes
he
away.
never
Okay.
touched, Rabbi. He wasn't with his wives after Bathsheba's period. He didn't.
No.
With any of them?
And Yerushalmi says that he didn't touch them physically. He made sure that he looked very attractive because he realized he has to learn to control his desire to look. This is David. After paying the hefty price for the mistake. Because when David invited this challenge for himself, Hashem told him it's going to be with a woman. And he realized that Hashem was right. He failed. So this is why,
So it's like a
if you
correction-
follow-
a correction of law.
and the beauty of this story, if you read it in between, is why is Lot departing to Las Vegas? Because of money. At the end, she's being captured, and your uncle who departed from saves you. And at the end, Sdom, you live in Sdom with your underwear, yes? Basically,
Yeah.
this is what happens if you make decisions that this is more important than my uncle. Nothing was left with nothing. And if you want to see how attached he was to money and woman, here, look a second,
They
he
knew
left.
money, they never brought up woman, they said money. Now you're bringing this, the angle of woman with law. No, we knew law was
Yeah,
attached
it's
to money,
that
but now because the rabbi
If you're-
brought
if
a
you're-
new view on law.
Look a second, look a second. Look a second, when he's departing, look a second. She said,
He says it, he looked to
the
the,
Pasuk,
wait, when he went,
the Pasuk says, okay,
that's
look
why he
at,
went to Sodom.
His rate is 10
He
times.
said that now, but before today's class, you knew Lot had an effect,
You look a second when he's departing from Abraham. Look how the pasuk. Look at page 50, page 60 on top.
If the incidents from with his daughters seems to state that his daughters provoked the incident, not him.
The Midrash says, Hashem arranges for a man to get the food he likes.
Ah,
It's the Midrash is using this language exactly the analogy I told you. אין מאכילים לאדם, look at page 60 on top. וישא לוט את עיניו, וירא את כל כיכר הירדן כי כולם משקה. Now if you understand, if you tuned into text, this is the first time we bump into Sodom. לפני שחט השם את סדום ועמורה. Lord notices how beautiful and successful is this region before God. Why do you have to tell it to me? Yes, look at the Rashi's Maryland over there. Okay, look at the Midrash Agada, Rashi on the third line. Midrash Agada Dosher Legnai. Hashem שהיו שטופי זימה, because he knew that the people of Sodom are very attached to ladies. בחר לו בשכנותם, it shows the neighborhood because of that. This is the Gemara in Orayot. And then the Torah repeats again, ואנשי סדום רעים וחטאים להשם מאוד, אף על פי כן לוט. I mean, the Torah is revealing us the inner part of a real human being. Lot is a personality that we know many like, but it's always good to see it in other people.
The English commentary from 10 to 13 paints slightly different than the way that I grew up learning. That Lot, 10 to 13 in English, says Lot was driven by the money, and he was hopeful that he'd be able to overcome the morality issue.
So that means he was drawn by it.
Yeah, he
No,
went
he
there for the money.
was drawn there for money.
We know
Both.
that. We know
But look at the Targum. Look at the Targum. Rabbi
He thought as
Prague, look at the Targum.
he could enjoy Saddam's wealth without
For the first time, everyone that learns Chumash every year, because we don't like when we teach Chumash to talk about women, but I'm saying it because we live in
She has it there for 1,000 years.
Rashi has it in print 800 years.
Rabbi Prague.
That's why the English is written for the forms using Texas. You don't want to.
Rabbi Prague. Why the question begs itself? Why does it say Ra'im Vichatayim? That's what the Targum does. That's why you look.
Evil is evil. Yeah.
No, because they're splitting it out. Ra'im b'mamonahem b'chatayim b'gavayatehem.
Right. Anyway, it's important to realize that from the beginning. No. We said before that for him it was new.
I know what you said.
We mentioned last night
All right.
that the Psukim, Vayomer Hashem el Avraham, Lech Lecha.
I got you.
In Akedat Yitzchak, we have exactly the same, yes? Hashem says to Abraham, yes? Lech Lecha, L'Eretz HaMoriah. And the Midrash wonders which challenge is bigger, the challenge of the Akedah or the challenge of Lech Lecha. Pele. In our eyes,
Yeah, simple. It seems simple.
To leave your environment.
the answer is we don't understand what Lech Lecha means. I asked Lech Lecha means leave Brooklyn,
And go to
go
deal.
to California, yes?
No problem.
And you'll have money and you'll have a very good job. Lech Lecha means eradicate, erase, and delete from you any root and any desire to your previous. It's very, very difficult. Especially the Akedah is a challenge of a moment. Bring your son, sacrifice it. It's very difficult. But basically after he does it, it's over. Here,
No, but he lives with it the rest of his life. It's not
It
over.
wasn't over. They gave him that other challenge with his wife. Where are you gonna get
The
it? We regret it.
The conclusion of the Gemara is of the Midrash is of course the Akedah is bigger. But the Midrash is opening our eyes. This is not relocate to Atlanta, Georgia, or to Antarctica and you become a billionaire.
Starting off.
Delete any route to your past.
Starting over.
It's almost impossible. If you think about it, it's almost impossible. Okay.
It's like this connection in the whole family.
It comes sometimes.
That's why you see immigrant families, they come to another country, they flock together because they can't lose their heritage.
In this community, you have a third or fourth generation, kids are still speaking Arabic, they like the food, and 120 years from now, you'll be able to say that he's a descendant. This, there is a lot
That's
of
not left.
there is a lot of good in it. Hashem is telling him you have to start from scratch. This is why at the age of 75, Abraham was chosen to start a new generation. Still he had Ishmael and still Yitzchak had Esav, because to completely cleanse himself, it's very difficult. Yes, this cleanliness is going to affect.
It's almost like a kid, no?
Like a girl, but even by a girl, the girl's big problem is to say goodbye to his previous
Lifestyle. Or life, not life, not lifestyle, life.
Look a second now. After Abraham is succeeding, Lot is making money also because he's with Abraham. Then the Gamle Lot, Rashi says, Gamle Lot because of okay. So it's very appropriate every year that this is the third parasha in Chumash. This few times Hashem promises the land to Abraham. As we say every year, but this year more than ever, of course, we have to say it. Muslims say, look, Hashem is promising Abraham the land. We are the descendants of Abraham. The land is our land, yes? Yes? Later, we'll see that after the Brit Milah, Hashem says to you, yes? Okay. You have the war between the king, the Midrash, the commentators say, the main reason why they went to a war is because they want to capture Lot. In order to capture Lot, Abraham would definitely come to save him. And if he's saving him, they have a chance perhaps to kill Abraham or to show everyone that Hashem is not really with him. Remember, in the modern terminology, the same way that communism, in the heydays of communism,
So they really
went
didn't
after
care
the
for
priests,
Lord,
the
they just-
rabbis, all the schools. Why? Because religion is always the threat. In every new regime, when there's no room for religion, they always go after the books, after the rabbis, after the leaders. Abraham is that man that Nimrod was afraid because he saw a man without power. Just by the power of conviction, he's taking with him tens of thousands of people. Nimrod couldn't take this type of preaching, yes. Anyway, Abraham is picking up the challenge, and Abraham is going to help his nephew. He saves him. And look a second. At Pasuk 64, after Abraham is victorious,
Page 60.
page 64, sorry. ויצא מלך סדום לקראתו. So remember, Abraham has now all the men, women, and all the property. ויצא מלך סדום לקראתו אחרי שובו מהכות את כדר לעומר. ומלכי צדק מלך שלם, מלכי צדק וכל איתו חזר לשם. הוציא לחם ויין והוא כהן. ויברכהו ויאמר, ברוך אברהם לקל עליון, קונה שמיים וארץ. What is he saying? Melchizedek publicly acknowledges you won not only the military victory, you prove to anyone that because you believe in God, you with 380 soldiers won thousands. Because of you, people now are publicly noticing. As a matter of fact, the Gemara in Berachot is raising an interesting question. The halacha is kol beracha she'ein b'Hashem u'malchut. If you don't say Baruch Atah Hashem, Elokeinu melech haolam, it's not the bracha. How come the first bracha of Amidah, which is the most important bracha, doesn't have malchut? Baruch Atah Hashem, Elokeinu v'Elokei Avotenu, Elokei Avraham, Elokei Yitzchak, Elokei Yaakov. The Gemara answers, since Avraham was mamlich everyone on Shemayim va'aretz, mentioning the name of Avraham is like saying,
Oh, wow.
Elokeinu,
Very nice.
Elokeinu melech haolam.
Wow, beautiful.
But look what he's telling me. Baruch Avraham lekel elyon konesh, you with your victory with a small army, yes?
You will call Shemayim Va'aretz?
You're makneh shamayim va'aretz to the people. וברוך כל עליון אשר בגן צריך בידיך וייתן לו מעשר מכל, yes? Now listen to this now. ויאמר מלך סדום אל אברהם, תן לי הנפש, והרכוש קח לך. This is typical, yes? You are in for the money. Take the money, give it the people back. The Gemara.
The Maaseh, they gave him wine.
Look at the Rashi. Rashi says, "Vayiten lo Avram maaser mikol."
Yeah.
Avram gave Shem, yeah.
So Shem is.
Rashi says the fish היה Kohen.
Well, he's a Kohen.
Right.
It says in the pasuk, David, "Hu Kohen lekel elyon." Pasuk says. So Abraham answers back to Melech Sodom, I'm swearing, imechut ve'atz, not taking anything, ve'imekach ve'lo tomar, ani yasharti et Abraham. The Gemara, believe it or not, the Gemara in Masechet Nedarim criticizes here Abraham for not keeping the people, because had he kept the people, he could have convinced the people to believe in Hashem. He's basically, but you realize what Abraham is doing. He's telling him, I didn't go in neither for the man, nor for the
women.
No, not for the woman, nor for the money. No, for the money.
Agenda.
Yes.
Just.
He just went to save the Lord.
Right, but the Gemara looks at it in the big picture, and the Gemara says perhaps you should have kept the people. Now the reason why we are defending Abraham, why didn't Abraham keep the people? This is an interesting story. There was a lady in Petach Tikva, not religious. She didn't have children. When she got pregnant, she used to raise the children. So her neighbor happened to be a fellow who was close to the Chazon Ish. This is story in the late 40s. So he says to her, there's a fellow of Bnei Brak that might help you. So she came. And the Chazon Ish see this guy. He said, this guy drives every morning from Lakewood to here. To say the God Kohanim.
From Lakewood?
Oh, he's still from Lakewood?
He lives in there.
I thought he was a Borough Park.
The reason I know it is because every time I played in Etz Chaim,
You see
Lakewood, I saw.
You see him?
Yeah, locally.
And he works in Brooklyn? There's no places in Lakewood to go for your party?
I told him, why are you coming
Yeah,
here?
why come
here?
Go to Deal. Deal you have
Yeah, go to
He
Park
says,
Avenue.
"Here I
Not a lot
have
of
many modes. He's running. He knows exactly the time where
He does, he knows
everything is
everything,
on.
yeah.
So he and the other guy are driving every morning from Lakewood.
What?
That's what the guy
Wow.
he goes back.
I can give him I'll give him in Lakewood where you can go.
Before you knew about it, he did it already in Lakewood.
He knows,
and
he
says
knows
he'll
better.
have many more.
Ma'alim Bakodesh, he came
Wow.
to Sharet Zion. What are you talking about?
No, he
Because this has the
That's
most
all
money.
he's done. That's it.
Because it has more
He says he wants more because
You should go to Sitchul.
don't worry, he's not going and he runs to sit after
Oh, he
and
does?
goes to
Oh, he
every,
does?
he knows exactly every minyan if he can make it at the same time.
Wow.
Says here, this is the
He has his tefillin on, but his friend doesn't. When does he pray?
I have a
don't know.
feeling.
Those
the
two
verse
skinny guys
doesn't- I have
running
a
around?
feeling.
One tall.
I have
I
a-
know, I
other
see
No,
him.
only
He's
one,
running around.
only
They're
one,
running
only
around.
one is the Kohen. I think the other one is the driver. Yeah,
But
but
receives the beracha
Sometimes I
also.
see them learning also, sit down.
Yeah?
Okay, good. But
Nice.
they're waiting, but I'm amazed, it's like a
You sat and talked to them, Rabbi? You had a
No,
little.
no, I asked him, I've been abused when I watched his end, it says, why do you come here? You have a deal. He says, I'm any more here.
That's what he
Wow.
actually-
Unbelievable.
And then he goes,
But this
what
is
made him
what
do
I
that?
need time to see the leg. This you have to have a conversation. Obviously, something is
Something, a little click.
And
a
this is
little-
going on for years, this is not just a flash of the pan.
No, he started
Ron,
here.
how long?
only
Rabbi, I didn't hear. Where's he coming from?
It's coming
Lakewood,
to Lakewood every
Lakewood.
day.
Lakewood? From Lakewood?
Maximum
Wow.
18 to 22 Birkot Kohanim, and then he goes back.
Wow.
Well, it's in life. You have to. Here's a man
This is the first.
focused on one
And
mitzvah.
it's
that
all
he-
we're getting to
This
Armageddon
is-
on time.
And when we hear the beracha of the Kohanim, we're taking it for granted.
But you can see the way he does the
I know,
bracha.
I
That he's
know.
doing it. Excitingly, if you come from Lakewood, you have to say the bracha seriously, not have to sleep. You know what I mean? Look a second. Why didn't Abraham? So this lady in Petach Tikva went to the Chazon Ish and he told her, listen, the man that brought you to me knows good sofer, put good mezuzot in your house. And she did, and she had a child. So this Rabbi Greenberg says to the Chazon Ish, if she came to you, why didn't you tell her, listen good, why didn't you tell her maybe keep Shabbat Friday night? I mean,
Do something.
Yeah, something like the candles.
listen, remember, this is the Chazon Ish, which is Kadosh, yes? I'm not a businessman, I'm not selling Judaism for brachot. A woman is in need, I have to help her. If she would come to me after she has a child, she wants something, I would tell her, okay, keep this, keep that. This is Avraham Avinu. If Avraham Avinu would keep the man, remember, the Gemara says, it's good that you told him to take the money, but you should have kept the man and you can make the more religious. Perhaps Abraham thought, if I'm doing it, again, it's a business. Yes?
Like you had an agenda.
I'm
something.
trading, I have an agenda. I wanted to be
Just did it for
religious,
the
so I
glory,
went to the war. Abraham is saying, I'm here only for chesed. Abraham is saying, I'm here only for chesed.
Yeah, they want to come away with any gain that it looked like they had some.
And the Gemara says that in Mechut ve'atz rochnav, the Gemara says, because Abraham says Mechut ve'atz rochnav, Hashem gave us the mitzvah of tzitzit, which is the strings, and Sroch now is the tefillin. Rabbi Akiva Eger in Shulchan Aruch says, so one of the big Sephardic Tishmai Yofi, Shulchan Aruch says that you have to tie first your left shoe. Why? Because you tie your tefillin first on the left. What is the connection between the tefillin and your shoe? Here, this pasuk, yes. The pasuk says, "Im mechut ve'at sroch na'al." Sroch na'al symbolizes here the tefillin. The Avraham Avinu. By the way, David, how come we put talet only in shachrit, not in mincha? Because Avraham Avinu established shachrit. Why did we get mitzvah tzitzit? Because of Avraham. Avraham established shachrit. This is why in the morning we are putting tzitzit and tefillin. Okay, then Hashem promises Abraham. This load is out already.
Well, I know we ask this question every year and we have an answer. I keep thinking.
What's the question?
I'm not gonna take anything from you. Nobody should ever say I got rich from you. And meanwhile, if you disagreed earlier, let's go to Paro.
He
Right.
takes.
Because he's gonna give me,
Right.
and Rashi points out, matanot. I'm looking for the matanot. So it looks like he's looking to, she's my sister, so I can gain.
But
So-
if you pay attention, he didn't go to gay. The question
What
is,
he said to
the
her.
question is, how come when he offers Abraham money, Abraham accepted it, and how come when Melech Stom says the answer is David, as we said before, this by Paro, everyone understands that this is Yad Hashem. So by Abraham taking the money from Paro is basically showing everyone. You start with the Jews, you lose it there. More than that, David, Abraham is paving the way for the Jewish people. Abraham goes to Egypt.
The man Yitavli, but she says the man Yitavli. It looks like Abraham's searching.
Yeah, but it's
Probably
gonna
means
pave
that I
the way
can
for
breathe
later
in
when
my
time.
neck. It's not.
Rabbi,
You put this.
Rabbi,
Well, yeah.
Rabbi, could you say that also that he let him pay for his men's the army that he brought, he let them take. Could you say that even then if he doesn't want anything from him, aren't they part of him? I know that it's part of their reward for fighting, you know.
On the contrary, Abraham is teaching him a lesson. This is what Hakarat HaTov is about. I take these people join my army, and the same in Sefer Shmuel, David is giving those who are helping his army is teaching Melech Sdom a lesson that Sdom was the opposite of that. Yes, I'm not taking anything, but I owe Hakarat HaTov to those people who came to join me. Sdom was the opposite.
Was it also fulfillment?
Like that.
Was it also fulfillment that he should have money because Hashem said he'd be rich, and at this point he was not rich?
He didn't take it, Mal. He didn't take.
If he would have taken the money of Sdom, he would become a trillionaire. Paro is giving him hundreds of thousands. Take them if you want to have money. Take it from Sdom. The answer is a Jew doesn't fight for money. But when everyone realizes they kidnapped my wife, and he was tortured, and everyone in the country obviously knows it, gives it back. Abraham is saying, then you said before.
No, when he says Yitinuli Matanot, Rashi is saying Yitinuli Matanot. That's my question.
No, but the Yitinuli Matanot is not the reason why I'm doing it. The Yitinuli Matanot is telling him a trick here. What is the trick? If you are my wife, they'll kill me. Otherwise, everyone is coming to ask me, and I'm buying time because everyone wants to marry you. Yes, you're my sister. But David understood that Yitinuli Matanot is looking for money. He's looking for money from Stone.
Right.
The answer is I'm not for the money. I am for the.
So Yitinuli Matanot doesn't mean he's looking for
Bavadai Shalom. Listen to a fascinating midrash. The midrash says, if I want to go down, what is it? The language of the midrash is. Oh, yeah, here, David. Imrina Achotia, the Midrash says, כדרך ששוחטים החולה בשבת. Abraham is telling his wife, say that I am your mother, the same way we slaughter for a sick man on Shabbat. David, me and you can sit like this for many years and listen to this. What is the logic of Paro? Paro knows that he's not allowed to take a married woman. He's afraid. Now there are two choices.
She's a widow.
Either kill the husband, and then she's not a married woman, or take the married woman. Both of them are asur, right? But they would choose to kill me. Why? This is one avera. If we take you as a married woman, every time there's a relationship is an avera. So
lesser of two evils.
So
He's measuring.
Listen, says the Midrash, if you have a choice to give a sick man on Shabbat, you can buy 5 non-kosher steaks, or you can slaughter on Shabbat. And so what are we doing? We slaughter, you do one avera to save many. This is Mikan.
Take the lesser of two evils.
Only Roberts and Ibis can say it because
that was Paro's.
this is Paro's calculation. This is what he's saying.
Once.
Once. So the Avera has to be done. For the Chole, you have a choice. Either slaughter on Shabbat, which is even though David slaughtering on Shabbat is a big Avera of Skila, and giving him non-kosher is 7 times.
It's a repeat offense.
The Ran says repeated offense.
But lesser form, but many multiples of them.
So, Rabbi, related to this, please. I'm sorry, I didn't get what you said.
I'm saying the reason if the Chole has to eat 5 times, you can buy 5 non-kosher meals to give him. 5 lo ta'aseh. Or slaughter the animal you do once. A big avera.
Okay.
Paro has the same choice. He can kill one big avera, then a woman is a free woman, or he can take her as a married woman. Every time he has a relationship, he's doing an avera. Says Abraham, I know what they are going to do. They need you no matter what. They have to make a decision, me or you, kill me. This is Mikan, Sheshoftim lechole b'Shabbat, yes? Same calculation that you have by a chole, you have the
one avera,
one,
matir everything else
correct.
Minimizes the other one.
Yes.
Who's he worried about with the Avera, Rabbi? Is he worried about
Egyptians
the
are
Egyptians? What, is
afraid.
he worried about the Egyptians care about the Averot?
No, he says, I know that they have a calculation because they are afraid, especially by now, Abraham, fame and a name. Lucas 2nd, page 70, it's a very up-to-date Dvar Torah. I mean, the Dvar Torah is written already 200 years, but today you can read it better. Sarah is so dedicated and he wants to help her husband so much that she's willing to take in Hagar. Hagar is a maid, the daughter of Paro. The pasuk Gimel, page 70 Gimel. ותיקח שרה אשת אברהם את הגר המצרית שפחתה מקץ 10 שנים בשבט אברהם בארץ כנען. The Gemara learns from this.
You have to wait 10 years.
Couple doesn't have children. 10 years you have to wait before you think about the choice. But more than that, the Gemara learns out for me that moving to Israel, שינוי מקום, אוקיי, ותיתן אותה לאברהם אישה, לא לאישה. So here is a lady, a princess, who served as a maid and was mentored by Sarah till now. Now she's elevated to be a wife. Look at the next pasuk. ויבוא אל הגר, ותרא, she becomes pregnant, ותרא כי הראתה, when she noticed that she is, ותקל גבירתה בעיניה. What is the English translation from ותקל?
Her mistress was lowered in her esteem.
Yeah, what does it mean lowered in her esteem? So if you look in the Rashi on the bottom right, look at the Rashi on the bottom right. Amra, please listen good what this maid says. Sarah Zu, this real wife, she's a phony. Mara Atzma, she appears to be righteous, but she's not. Here she is married to him many years, and she's not pregnant. And I became pregnant for the first time in the relationship with him. Okay? And obviously, this is being expressed externally also, yes? So Sarah, yes?
Hagar felt superior to Sarah because she was successful. And she probably broadcast those vibes as well. You imagine that Sarah
look a second. פסוק ו' ויאמר אברהם אל שרה הנה שפחתך בידך עשי לה הטוב בעינייך ותעניה שרה. You realize this is a harsh word. ותעניה ותברח מפניה. Listen good now. וימצאה המלאך השם. Can you imagine she has a revelation of an angel? ויאמר פסוק ח' הגר שפחת שרי, אימי זה בת, ואנה תלך. Says this photo, you are coming from the house of Abraham, where are you going?
How could you leave? Where's better?
How can you leave? ותאמר,
I'm leaving from her house.
I'm running away, I'm not going to a destination. He's asking her, how can you leave the house of Abraham? Where are you going? She says, I'm not going anywhere, I'm running. Please listen. ויאמר לה מלאך השם, שובי אל גבירתך, go back, והתעני תחת ידיה. Right? Submit yourself to her. You see, the English translation is very careful, about domination. The question is, Why is he telling her, David? Shuvi beit ani. Shuvi, go back.
Bear with it.
Bear with it.
How long was this process? Was it a minute or was it days?
Definitely days.
Oh,
You listen, but the question is, why is he telling her, come back and beit ani tachat yodea? Shma tov. Says the Be'er Yosef. He says, do you think your suffering comes because your boss is Sarah? Wherever you go, you're going to
gonna
suffer
follow you.
anyway. You may as well go back and have it there from Sarah.
it's like Yonah also.
Yes,
So it's like the
Yonah.
story of Yonah, same
You
thing.
will tell what you get everywhere. You think that because you're there, you may as well be there and have it because she's a
Rabbi Prague,
more.
when you,
Yonah.
Rabbi Prague, when,
I'm listening, yeah.
I'm just trying to put it in a nice way. When you read this story,
I'm not reading it yet, the way you want me to read, yes. Yeah. So
okay, I mean, I don't want to read it that way, but that Lashon of the Hitani is such a tough,
you do know, as I know, what the Ramban says. Yes,
I don't know what the Ramban says.
the Ramban now. Here, you have it in front of you. The Ramban says that she was punished, and this is why the Jewish people suffered more than Egypt. Which means everyone understands that Sarah had the right to do what she did, yes? But the Ramban understands because the Torah is using this language, Bateanea,
Wow.
she overdid it. She overdid it subconsciously, you realize? And this is the point. Every time you have an employee, I'll give you an example for myself, okay? I have always, in the morning, a double class, 100 kids. Freshmen, normally I learn till a certain point of the year, then they become a little Anyway, a kid in front of me means 3 tables, sitting and he's normal. He's a good kid, but the reason he did it is because he doesn't have to take notes now, because I'm focusing on the story in the Gemara 5. So I picked up his, and I said to the class, look, the future artist here. Anyway, then I told him, I really have to send you to the office now. Or maybe you choose, as you call your parents. And I see the kid starts bad. It's a bad choice no matter what. Then I took it and I threw it in his face and says, this can never happen, otherwise you'll have to switch. I mean,
No,
You
never,
have to
can't
switch.
never happen again, obviously.
Oh, you
You
told
do it
him that?
again, you're out.
David, the class never had me getting upset.
Yeah, of
I
course.
was upset
That's shocking.
Why are you so upset?
because
It's an honors class. It's not
an
an
Wait,
honors.
it's a serious class.
Took your diapers yesterday. Anyway, Tishma, after class, I took him and I said, listen, you understand that I really have to do something, but I'm willing to forget it completely if you promise.
Not to do it again.
See, remember, if he doesn't keep his promise, I can do it second time. If he keeps it, it's a win-win situation. Anyway, he says, thank you. Then I couldn't fall asleep. Before I told myself,
Rabbi,
I was 2 hours. The next day, in front of the class, I said, Rabotai, this is what happened yesterday. What he did is inexcusable, but the language and the tone, I was wrong, and I'm asking public.
100%.
The kids said,
Rabbi, I'm going back to them how lucky they are again.
no, I'm using it, that deserved a punishment. The tone, and the way I did it was wrong, you understand? And in the eyes of,
Rabbi, I'm still telling them how lucky they are to have you every day.
thank you. But anyway, no. This is what the Ramban, Ari, this is what the Ramban says.
I see it. It's an unbelievable 2 lines. It's brilliant.
But you see, I mean, and he focuses on the word Vate'anea.
And now, sure.
Look at who she told her wash the floor. The Torah is
Rabbi, did Sarah have to give Hagar?
she overdid it. I mean, this is what the Ramban is saying.
But Rabbi, did Sarah have to give Hagar to Abraham? She didn't have to.
Everyone agrees that Sarah is an angel, but here is an example. This is why I use myself as an example. What I did was, she definitely, the kid deserved. But as I'm speaking to him and I'm getting angry and I'm raising my voice and I threw it, this was wrong. I mean, I did it.
By the way, the Ramban says not only is Sarah responsible, but Avraham Oh,
but it
Well,
shows.
I goes back to my point, guys.
But it shows you how strong the Ramban. The Ramban takes the text. If the Torah is expressing it this way, obviously, but it's a
But-
lesson to
But
us.
Rabbi, did he have to give Haggad? Did he have to?
He definitely did not. But this is
Okay,
the point. But your name is Sarah.
right.
right.
Even though what she's doing is wrong,
Right.
but
Right.
subconsciously don't overdo it. Every Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi.
Shabbos, Rabbi Prague. Good Shabbos.
Shabbat Shalom.
Chastise the students, he shouldn't really mean it.
Of course,
He told
no.
us, told us
But
many
yeah,
times.
but it's since I didn't expect it from him. This is exactly the point.
So when I was in high school, I went to Brooklyn Tech, all boys high school.